My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer. All right, welcome back to the show. It is day 62, episode 62. That's right, episode 62. Moving right along. Yeah, dust is finally settling. Well, at least for the most part. I'm home, finally getting back into somewhat of a my normal routine, which I don't really have one, but getting back into like the day-to-day swing of things. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. I've mentioned repeatedly that we had our annual conference, my company Yoli. We had a conference called Level Up. We're all leveling up in a very big way. And then immediately after that, when I got home, I had to entertain guests. Well, I didn't have to. I chose to entertain guests, dear friends of ours, who I've known pretty much my entire life, and they came up for a visit for about 4 days. So it's been kind of a whirlwind. I haven't been able to really just sit down and just take a breather. But we're there now. The dust, like I said, the dust is settling, getting back into routine. Here we are in today's episode. I wanted to today do an episode on podcast. Well, just a roundup of what I'm listening to, right? What I'm currently listening to. There's so much great education out in the space, and I really encourage you guys. I mean, like this whole entire journey for me so far. With learning online marketing, social media marketing is been self-directed, and if for those of you guys who are network marketers, for those of you guys who are entrepreneurs, you know that like everything has to be self-directed, right? There's not necessarily a educational structure or even like a concrete path for you to follow. There's not like a guide necessarily that you can enroll in, or a course that you can enroll in that's going to walk you through every step of the way on your entrepreneurial journey. Now, there might be guides and things that you can purchase and that you can go through, courses that you can take, but it's all going to be completely self-directed. And so, for me, sharing this stuff with you, number one, it's free resources, right? I still feel very much a novice in this space of online marketing, social media marketing, and so I'm getting as much information as. And guys, here's the thing. I interrupted my own thought, but like from when I started in network marketing, back in like the turn of the century, we didn't have the resources that we have today. Obviously, the access to the internet is great, and I've talked about how the internet can definitely spread your focus too thin. It's an attention grabber, and we have to really be mindful with what we ingest to make sure that information that we're taking in is directed towards our end goal. That said, if you're very specific and very honed in and laser focused on what your goal is, you can pretty much find any information out there. You can find all the resources you need, most of it for free, to learn how to do what you need to do. Really, it's amazing. It's amazing what the internet can provide. And, podcast is one of those things. Podcasting is a great source of free information. And there's plenty of people out there like the two podcasts I'm going to share with you today, who are sharing their information, who sharing their perspective, sharing their experience, sharing all this free information with you that you can take and apply to your businesses. So the first one is, I've actually mentioned both of these podcasts before in the past, but so I want to dedicate a specific episode to the two of those today in this podcast roundup. So the first one is called Content is Profit. This is a show by a company called BizBros, BizBros, and because they're brothers. It's a pair of brothers by the name of Luis and Luis, both named Luis. One of them goes by Fonzie. So yeah, well, I mean, it's not uncommon. I have 3 sisters named Maria, so we all go by our middle names, needless to say. So Luis and Luis, they're incredibly dynamic personalities. For one, they're great hosts, and they're really fun to listen to, and they bring an incredible amount of content. Like, the content is so incredibly useful, right? The information that they share, the perspective that they share, the guests that they have on. I mean, they're, I think, in their 300s as far as episodes go. So they've been around the block a little bit. They've really built this show from the ground up into what it is today. And it's become. I mean, I've only been listening to them for about a month, but it's like I would assume to say it's become a very, very well-respected resource in the online marketing space. I mean, it's called Content is Profit, focuses on online marketing, focuses on, creating content for social media, whether it's, creating content for online marketing, whether it's social media, whether it's, like YouTube, long form, short form, podcasts, things like that. Like they really hone in on the marketing side. And again, for me, being still, I still consider myself fairly novice in this space. It's nice to have this kind of, their perspective, because they're opening up my eyes to a bigger world that I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm only just now being introduced to after after 16 plus years in network marketing. So it's a great resource. I've learned so much from them just in the, like I said, I've been only listening to them for about a month, and it's incredible what they bring to the table. Lots of really useful stuff that you can then turn around and immediately apply to your business. The second podcast is, again, one that I've already talked about before in the past, Goal Digger. And this is with Jenna Kutcher. She's the host. She's the creator of the show. Another incredible show. I love Jenna's perspective. I mean, she's a marketer. She's a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur. Has built her business from ground up, and now has a thriving online business. And like I love seeing, well, she shares, the ins and outs, and like the pieces, how they all fit together, and what her particular business model looks like, and also too provides resources for you to be able to create very similar structures for your own business, right? And also, she also actually, what I like about, and actually, let me take this back. Both Luis's and Jenna also talk about mindset as well on both of those things. So there's a clue. Mindset is a very big, important part of, integral and essential part of entrepreneurism and success, and whatever, yeah, the success formula, right? Jenna's Gold Digger podcast. It's a great show, great resources, really incredibly educational. I mean, she pretty much tells you what she's done or what she's doing, and explains to you that, hey, it's really not that hard, because online marketing, I've talked about this before in the past, it can be intimidating. It's still somewhat intimidating for me, but to have these two, like, individuals like Jenna, individuals like Louise and Fonzie sharing their perspectives, it makes it that much more accessible. And that's, for me, that has become one of my goals. I mean, that's why I created the podcasting, the simplest podcasting guide ever, right? Because I want to make these things much more accessible to everybody, because this is where it's going, right? This is where the future is going. Everything is online. Everything is all about creating content when it comes to business. So, we might as well teach more people, or allow more people to have access to information so that they can teach themselves. So that's it. The two podcasts are Content is Profit and Gold Digger. I'll put the links to both of these shows in our show notes of this episode. So go check those out. Go listen to them. And we're still a very small podcast, but if they happen to ask where you saw them from, or where you heard about their show from, tell them that Ronnie sent you from Path of the Network Marketer. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed or followed, go ahead and hit that follow button so you can catch the fresh new episode every day. So until tomorrow, you guys, please be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.